Hello friends, so today I want to walk you through some of the modifications, tweaks and settings I've done to increase the performance of not only Star Citizen but also the general Windows computer. So with the new patch 2.6 you might have already seen that ping is a big problem. So the better ping you can get, the better you will perform in Star Marine or Pirate Swarm or whatever you play. And also your FPS will go up, and the FPS on everyone on the server. So here's a quick trick I use to improve my ping. I have seen that IPv6 is decreasing my ping by about 10 to 20 milliseconds. So I tend to disable IPv6 completely, and that way I get yeah, I said like 10 to 20 milliseconds better ping. My ping is around 17-18 milliseconds for most of the times. Of course, if network load increases, if I do downloads and stuff, the ping will decrease. So please don't do downloads while playing Star Citizen. That's an obvious. And also make sure nobody in your network is doing downloads or has access to stuff on your network. So if somebody from an external program, website, user is leeching stuff from your network, then of course your ping will also decrease. Do not connect your PC via Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi has packet loss, like a lot at times, and also interference and bad signal, and all of this will decrease your ping and your gameplay experience. So try to run a Cat6, Cat5a Ethernet cable directly to your PC, and then when your Ethernet cable comes into your PC, it will go directly to your Ethernet adapter. For me it's Ethernet 2. This is VMware VPN stuff, and this is a second Ethernet adapter I have, but it's not connected at the moment. So when you right click your Ethernet adapter in network connections, you will see all the protocols that are installed, and by default all those are active like this. You will probably have less than me or more, I don't know, but they will all be active. There's one called IPv6. I deactivate this, and also I like to deactivate IPv6 support in my router, which helps a little with ping, and then also deactivate everything else other than that IPv4, which is required. For me, I also have this activated, but that's just for VPN stuff. QoS is quality of service packet planner, which will give priority to packets in the network this protocol deems fit to give priority to. Some routers support QoS, and it can be good to have it turned on and manage QoS settings actively in your router, but if you don't, better turn it off. File and printer sharing for Microsoft Networks, I tend to turn it off because most of the printers use IPv4 anyways. So, and I don't want anybody to connect to my PC without my knowledge, and I don't share any files in the local area network. VMware, I'll leave this turned on if you use VMware. If not, it's probably gonna look like this for you. The only thing you really need are the client from Microsoft Networks, which gives you wins and net shares and stuff, and IPv4. So if you've done that, you click OK, and then deactivate, and then activate your network adapter to make the changes apply. I don't know if this step is necessary, but I always do it. Just deactivate and activate real quick again, and you're done. So for IPv6, there's also something called Teredo protocol in Windows 10, which should be turned off, and I can show you real quick what it looks like. So these are CMD commands. You gotta run the CMD in administrative mode. Sorry for that. You just press the Windows key, hit CMD, and then Control Shift Enter to run it as an admin. Then your UAC, user access control, will maybe ask you for permission to do so, and after that you get the CMD. Once you have the CMD, you can either go directly to your folder if you have a script like me and run the script from there, or you can just take the commands, copy, paste. This one is to enable Teredo, but we do not want this, so what do? We disable them. I could just do like a search for, oh, I pressed Control H for replace, and I'm searching for default, replacing it with disabled, and replace all, and now they're disabled. And then I copy and paste them all, and they're all okay except the last one because I didn't hit enter. And this one is okay too. This one is not okay because I don't have the 624 protocol installed. You will have this installed, so you need to do it, but I uninstalled that. Okay. Now that Teredo protocol is disabled, I'm not saving that, we can continue. The next step I do is I modify my SensrSvc shortcut. So create a new shortcut, and I have already done this. So what you do next is you go to properties, and then in here you add stuff, and I'll show you what to add. So this will run SensrSvc without administrative privileges, but you don't need admin to run SensrSvc. What you do, however, need, and what is quite neat to have, is this. Oh, where is it? Oh yeah, there. So you need the cmd.exe. So basically what this does, let me show you this another way because it's easier that way. So if you run SensrSvc, it starts with normal priority. If you want to have it in a high priority, you can of course set it to high. Oh, there it is. So what you do, we are already in the CMD, so the command start will work. We call it SensrSvc, and we set the priority to high, and we run this exe file. Mine is in the C drive, Cloud Imperium Games, SensrSvc public bin 64 SensrSvc.exe. Yours might be in C program files or something, and then Cloud Imperium, yada yada. And if you run it this way, you will get the high priority on SensrSvc. So let me real quick show you in the task manager how you normally set a high priority to something. So if you go to details and pick any process, you can set the priority. It's usually at normal, but in the case of SensrSvc, you really want to have it at high, so it gives priority to the game. And I found this to be really helpful. It gives me around 5 to 10 FPS. Yes, frames per second. Do not put it on real time, because real time will block your computer totally if something goes wrong. So if you have a black screen, you will not be able to do anything else. Just high is really enough to put it above all the rest that's running on your PC. But if you set the priority in the task manager, like this, then of course it's set. But once you restart this program, like the CMD or what have you, then it will be gone. So you would have to go manually in the task manager and set it again. That's why we do this in the shortcut. So C Windows System 32 CMD is just the command line. -C is command. We want to use start, which is a general start the program command. Give it a name. Set the priority to high. This is the important part. And then point it to the Star Citizen exam. That way your Star Citizen will always have high priority and you might get a few more FPS. Okay, moving on to the next thing. We have talked about Internet protocols, IPv6. What else is there? Yeah, if you want to, you can further optimize your PC. I created this batch file which does all of that and disables some services. Let's look into the servers. So SC is for service, config is for configuration, and I turn off all these services because they're not needed. Then yeah, this is about the same thing. Yeah, that's the tracking stuff that comes with Windows 10, Digitrack, blah blah blah. It's not needed. You can turn them all off. And also the Xbox game stuff. If you like it, leave it on, but I prefer to not have it on there because I don't use the game bar or anything. I just use OBS, which is fine. Okay, IPv6. Oh, okay. This is to disable Teredo stuff, to disable IPv6 tunneling. So IPv6 through 4 obviously increases your packet size because IPv6 packets, IPv6 addresses have a much larger address range than the 4. So in the 4 packets need to be encapsulated in 6 packets and then run through IPv4 lines basically, which will clog up your line. My explanations might not be perfect, but they work. Okay, moving on. What did I want to talk about? The user config. So this is my user config that I use for 2.6. Obviously unrestricted 0, which will give you some more commands in the console. I don't actually know if this command still works because the console is still restricted. System maximum FPS, I put it on 200, which is more than enough. Sometimes I even get more than 200, like 299 or 220 or something. Sysspec 4 is your system specification classification. So Star Citizen puts your system in classes from 1 to 4, 1 being the lowest sysspec, like not very capable of doing anything much but running Star Citizen, so it will adjust all the settings to very low. My system is fine, I think, so I put it on 4. Vertical synchronization is if you see like tearing in the center of your screen, you might want to turn it on, but it decreases FPS by a lot, so do not turn vertical synchronization on. Leave it off. Sharpening off, mouse acceleration obviously off, smoothing off. That way you can get better precision with your mouse while aiming. Full screen 0. Well, that's a personal preference. I like to be able to tab out, so I do full screen window at 1. So it will be a borderless window. That's just my resolution for my center screen. Concerning the resolution, this is a 16 by 10 resolution, and the native resolution of Star Citizen is 16 by 9. There might be an effect where you get more FPS if you put it in a 16 by 9 aspect ratio, which for this resolution would be 1440 by 2560. But I did experiment with that and I did not find any differences in FPS other than the increased amount of pixels putting more load on the system. So I will of course get a slightly higher frame rate if I do something like this, yeah, because there's less load on the system. But I really do want all the detail from the high resolution, and I do want to have my game fill the whole screen. Now enable full GPU sync, that was a command that was used in PTU testing and it helped with some glitches, but now if you turn it on it will decrease performance. So you need to turn it off, make sure that it's turned off. Motion blur, that's a personal preference. I like to have my image crisp and clean and sharp edges, so I turn it off. Depth of field, I'm not quite sure what it does, but I guess it's has to do with the distance. Shadow blur is like blurry edges on the shadows, turn it off. Radial blur, also blurry stuff. Brightness level 0, bloom ratio 0. Hot bob is your head-up display. It will shake when your head moves. It will bob up and down, left and right, so turn it off. That way you get a more stable head experience. Don't know color grading, not quite sure, but all of those are pretty good and give me good FPS. I've tested a lot. I even made an Excel sheet with about 100 lines with FPS and different settings. This is the one that works best for me. Not saving changes because I don't want to change anything there. Okay, we went over all the things. What else is there to do? Okay, if you want to like really get into PC optimization and stuff, there's some things I can recommend. For example, the Center for Internet Security, CISsecurity.org, I guess. Yes, CISsecurity.org has all those PDFs and they are free to download. You need to give them like a fake mail where you can actually read the emails, because you will need the link. So you will need to register with them, but once registered you can get all those benchmarks and they really help. For example, there's the Windows 10 benchmark. I guess most of you will use Windows 10. So don't be scared, it has about 1,000 pages. Yeah, that's a lot, but it really has some good things in there. Like how to configure your drivers, how to configure your registry, your group policy and everything, and like really locking down, hardening and optimizing your system. If you want to do that, just take a quick peek. It's scary at first, but there's a lot of stuff you can exclude. Just go through the table of content and take what you need, leave the rest. I went through all of those things and also did another document which is from the German counterpart about the same, German intelligence service, and this document is a little bit shorter with 156 pages, but of course it's in German, so can't really use it if you don't speak German. So this will go through the configuration and optimization and hardening of Windows 7 in this case, but most of the stuff also applies to Windows 10. So, and yeah, I did all of those tweaks and settings and compiled myself a batch file. Where is it? Yeah, the batch file basically holds registry settings, disables services, and applies my custom group policy, and does some other things like MVP hosts file. Oh, I can cover the MVP host file. So the MVPS hosts file can be downloaded here, and basically what it does is it redirects all the bad websites to 0000. So it basically blocks them. Everything bad is going to get blocked, and you can already see it's huge. So I really recommend you this one, the MVPS hosts file, because it helps a lot with like scammers or drive-by viruses, downloads and stuff. So once you have downloaded this thing, you just put it in the replace your hosts file with this file. And the hosts file is somewhere in C Windows System 32. I'm not sure where exactly at the moment, but it's an easy find. So once you've done all this, you will get a much better experience in Star Citizen. My frame rate improved another 5 to 10 FPS, and the ping decreased about 10 to 20 milliseconds, which is the more important part of this tutorial. To decrease your ping, so your latency will decrease, and you can, like in Star Marine, we have this big thing where everybody is lagging and rubber banding and stuff. This should help with that. Okay, enough of me talking to you. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, it would make me very happy if you left a comment or clicked like. If you didn't like it and I was talking too much, smash that dislike button. Thank you for watching. See you soon. Bye bye.